everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. This is the Wrestling Conversation. I am Brent West, along with Jack Lord. Rodney West will be talking professional wrestling. We have about 10? We're going to have about 10, maybe 11 of our top 100 wrestlers, each one of us. And we've got to talk about WrestleMania. If you didn't watch it, now some matches I did. The 8 men, 8 women, or the 22 people that were in the ring one time. I'm not for sure how many was in there. I think it was 8. Yes, it was 8. I did front through them because I've never seen one of them was any good. So I did for those things and a few more. But I'm going to tell you, by and large, great show, great matches, great storytelling on the show. Jack, I know you got some information on WrestleMania and a couple of other things that went on. Let's share that with everyone.
Okay. This is for the ratings. Now, Peacock does not give ratings out for a while after any WWE pay-per-view. So I don't know exactly what the ratings were, except that I saw one comment from somebody at WWE, maybe it was Nick Khan, who said ratings were up 58% from last year's WrestleMania.
Oh.
So that's a huge increase. Peacock also says that there are 3.5 million viewers that watch the WWE product on Peacock. When Vince changed over to Peacock, there was 1.1 million subscribers to the WWE network. So he has brought not only that, they've more than doubled that of what they bring to Peacock. So Peacock's very, very happy with WWE, with their programming and what they bring to the table. Let's see. First, let's talk about the one other show that I know of. There were several events that went on in the Dallas, Arlington area, as all these shows coming in and piggybacking off WrestleMania, which I think is a smart thing to do. Ring of Honor, of course, was the biggest one with Supercard of Honor. Their biggest buy rate so far, and it was 20,000 buys, 2,000 in attendance. Now, I don't know how big, I guess, facility that's as many as you can hold in there. But it was a very good thing for them. And I heard great things about the card. I'm just cheap. I'm not paying $29.99 to watch wrestling. For the 2 nights of WrestleMania, they had a total attendance of 156,352. To break that down, Sunday night they had 78,453, and Saturday night they had 77,899. Now, we always hear about WWE pushing the numbers up, but for the first time, it's been revealed how they do that without absolutely lying to their shareholders. They count every person in that building. If you're a ticket taker, if you're a police officer, if you're a seater, if you're a talent, everybody gets counted. The only thing that they don't count per se is the boxes, because when you have a box at that place, you can jam as many people in there as you want. They said they estimated 2,000 people just in those boxes.
Wow.
So a lot of people. They generated over $200 million for the local economy.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
That's a lot of money. Tickets averaged $308. They started for the cheap seats, and buddy, those were some nosebleeds, wasn't they? $89 for the very top of the arena, all the way down to $2,000 for front row ringside. Now, ratings for the last week, NXT drew 628,000, which was respectable numbers for them. Rampage was up to 456,000. AEW was down to 979,000. The week before they had broke 1 million. SmackDown was 2.359 million viewers Friday night. Last night, for the first time in a while, Raw broke 2 million by having 2.101 million viewers to Monday Night Raw.
Wow. Very impressive. It was a very impressive night. I tell you, Charlotte Flair, Rousey, what a match they had. Just great matches. And, whatever people can say about Cody Rhodes, he went out there and worked hard. Now, I did not watch Monday Night Raw. I watched the bits and pieces of it. But, boy, if they could just produce that same product that they produced from WrestleMania, and they'd have 10 million people watching that show every week, because that was tremendous, a tremendous show.
It really was.
Rodney has not got to see it yet. He will watch it. He did see the Steve Austin stuff.
I did, and I enjoyed every moment of that. I'm with a lot of people. It just made me just smile every time.
I will tell you this, though, if you want to get a good laugh.
Yeah. That's the reason I said it gives me a smile every time I think.
Vince McMahon. He never has been any good.
No.
Man, that was horrible.
Now, if anybody else on that card would have done the same thing Vince McMahon did, he would have fired them just as soon as they walked back into the back.
Man, that stunner was so bad. And then there's a video that surfaced that Mick Foley watched it, and he was laughing really, really hard while watching Vince and the stunner.
Well, Steve Austin was laughing. Did you not notice it? He was up on the ropes laughing.
But it got over. Steve Austin still got it. 19 years later, he's still over as much as he was.
When the music and that glass broke, those people went nuts, and it was magic. I thought
I was very surprised. Cody Rhodes was very surprised the reaction he received. I love the Dusty Rhodes. I love the roll up and the bionic elbow. I thought that was tremendous, and the fans really took to it as well. So it was a good show. If you've not seen it, go get that Peacock Network, hit that WWE, and go watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. It'd be well worth your money that you paid to watch it.
And while we're
$9, didn't it?
Well, yeah, while we're talking about Peacock, there's two versions of it. There's the ad-supported version for $5 a month, and the ad-free version of $9.99 a month. So you still get the same amount of programming. You just got to put up with a few commercials if you want to go the cheaper way.
Yeah, I think I got the $9.99 version. I think that's what because I don't remember any commercials being in it. So, but it very good. So do watch it. We don't say a lot of good stuff about current wrestling sometimes, but I really enjoyed this show. I was very impressed with the show. Good storytelling. Every match told a story, and I thought that was spectacular. All right. Are y'all ready for the top 100? Now, what we're doing,
let's go ahead and talk with the insiders, because they've got comments about WrestleMania. By the time we get to it, and we'll come back to it, and they'll.
All right, let's get good evening, guys. Have a great show from David Bice. Hey, by the way, do not take any messages from David Bice on your Facebook page. He's been hacked.
So oh boy!
Somebody created a fake Instagram account, and they're trying to message on the Facebook with that.
Is he stuck? Is he stuck in Belize with no money?
I don't know. I reported it and moved on because I knew it wasn't David.
Evening, everyone, from Wendy Hart. Chad is with us. Chad, Mojo Hitter Coleman. Hi there, guys, from Winfield, Louisiana. Charles Alford listening. Wendy, Jack, hope you're feeling better.
Getting there.
Richard Hood said, good evening, gentlemen. Charles Alford, also, good evening. Christopher Hughes. Evening, gentlemen. Hope you're well, from Leesburg, Florida. Chad, so what did you guys think of Cody coming back to WWE? I enjoyed watching his match. I thought his match was great. I thought he did a good job. But man, that was a rough thing that he did to Cody with his boot. That was rough, wasn't it? I mean, that was almost like, okay, I'm just I'm just going to let you know you've came back to the WWE or something. Because that, I mean, do you think he meant to do that? Was that?
No,
Was
I don't think
him to
so.
do it?
He's known as being a very safe wrestler. So
I mean, it just seems, man, his head was all messed up after that. And I was thinking, wow, Rodney didn't get to see that. Rodney, if you get to see that, you'll see what I'm talking
He
about.
would. Cody told him just to lay those in there and make it look good.
Well, it wasn't a lay-in. He took his face and he rubbed it on his boot.
Yeah, just
And
make it look good.
I mean, his
That's
whole it was pretty good.
Make it
But they
look
had a
good.
great- Don't you think, Jack, that I was surprised the reaction he had?
I was happy that he got the reaction he did. A little surprised, yeah, but I'm glad that the WWE fans, which I if nothing else, that reaction shows you there's a difference between the fans of WWE and AEW. They're not the exact same fan base anymore.
But do you think if he ever brings Brandy with him, they'll start booing him again?
Well, I will. I don't know. I'm just
Mickey Mayfield, hello, gentlemen. Dr. Philbo Grice also said hello. Rick Brooks also said hello. David Bice said the Stunner Stone Cold gave Vince was funny. Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, I read a report where Steve was making fun of him in the back after it was over with. Even Vince was laughing about it. But you know, the thing is he's never took them right.
No.
You know, that was no different.
No, he wasn't taking them right 20 years ago. So we might as well keep it up.
I would have loved to have heard that with Steve Austin going off on him. That would have been hilarious.
The match I enjoyed the most Sunday night was AJ and Edge. You know, I did not watch that one.
That was a good match.
They had me invested. I did not get to see that one.
I'm going to be honest. Saturday night was such a strong show. I was looking to be disappointed Sunday because I didn't think that overall they could follow Saturday night, but they did. They did. Both nights were just outstanding.
Yeah, they took the boy. They put everything into that show, and it was tremendous. Yep. Hello from GIF. I am watching the Men's World Curling Championship as well as watching you gentlemen. Overall, WrestleMania was pretty good. Too many high spots as per usual. You know what I did? It didn't bother me for some reason because I it would have bothered me if they did it and the people just sat there. But they were reacting to everything. Pat McAfee surprised me. That guy was over.
Well, he had matches in NXT with Adam Cole a couple of years ago. I know of 2 matches, and those were excellent. So I knew that he had what it took to have a good match, and he did.
$300 for a ticket. Jeez.
If you don't like the $300 ticket, you should have went with the $2,000 one. You'd really enjoy that.
What I seen on Facebook, WrestleMania looked good.
It was really good.
Charles offered Vince McMahon absolutely horrible.
You can say whatever you want to say. He's consistent in his abilities.
He went to the same. We know where Shane gets it from now, don't we?
Yeah.
Vader's son was fired up. Okay, did Vader do the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, his wife and son came out and accepted for him.
Hey, is Vader's son big like he was? No.
Good looking kid.
Now, Nikki. I think it's Nikki, one of the Bellas. I believe it's Nikki. She thought evidently Vader was still alive. So,
well, that's okay. We all think she's still alive too.
$300 for a ticket. I remember complaining when Eddie Graham raised ringside tickets to $7 a piece.
How dare he?
Edge. Wendy said Edge versus AJ Styles, one of the best matches I've seen. Mickey Mayfield said City Auditorium Atlanta's best seats were $750.
Okay, by mid-70s, $750 now equates to about $40 a ticket.
Yes, I mean that's hello from Southeast Missouri, Don Garner. Christopher Hughes, last night was the first time I'd watched a WWF match in 8 years because of Stone Cold mainly. And I believe
There you go.
I think that happened a lot. I think a lot of because so I watched it because of Stone Cold Steve Austin as well.
Yep.
Probably the only reason I watched it, but I was very impressed with the rest of the people. I thought they all worked so hard, except for that Corbin guy. I just still can't stand him.
They have to have something where you can get up and go to the restroom and go to the concession stand.
I frontwards through that one as well, so I don't know what really happened on it. Good evening from
Lovemore.
Lovemore.
Let's leave it at
Lovemore.
that.
I can
so
leave
that
it
we don't embarrass ourselves.
David Bye said, "Thank you, Jack." I'm not sure what he watching from Zimbabwe. I believe that's how you say that, ain't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome. Welcome.
Zambia.
Yes.
Zambia.
Yes.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much.
Welcome.
Welcome to your southern style of podcast right here. Pro Wrestling Inside Out. They went overboard with all the props stashed under the ring.
I'm assuming you're talking about the Johnny Knoxville stuff, but that's the gimmick of Jackass. So I enjoyed that match. I thought it was good. I thought that it was comedy, but they did it. They did it well.
Did they have a gigantic rat trap?
Yes.
I did see that part of Raw.
Yep.
When I just fast forward through it earlier. Watched it completely through.
I was thoroughly sports entertained.
Hey, yo. Hope all is well. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, in my opinion, stole all of Mania.
Not going to argue with that. That was probably one of the best storytelling matches they had. And they were, like I say again, almost all of them were really good matches.
Yes, they were. They were good matches. Dory Funk Jr., number 42 from Richard Hood. I would like to ask each of you, think of Dino Bravo and who's Joel Deaton?
Joel Deaton. It's Joel Deaton.
Joel Deaton.
Got Thunderfoot.
That's what you think of each. Dino Bravo. Dino Bravo, I never thought he was I thought he was a great wrestler, but he had no personality. But Joel Deaton's tremendous.
The stuff Dino did in Canada and other places before he went to WWE, I thought he was great. WWE watered him down, changed him up. I think he got too big to be able to really move as effectively anymore. And Joel is one of those guys that does not get the appreciation that he deserves. That was a wrestler's wrestler right there.
Yeah. Rodney?
Yeah, absolutely. I always liked Dino Bravo because he was had that world's record for tag team weightlifting. I enjoyed that. I always loved that. And then Joel Deaton, just a tremendous wrestler.
Wendy said Pat McAfee, trained by Rip Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
You actually got to see him when Pat McAfee was being trained by, because I believe he actually was being trained with Rip Rogers before he even got involved with WWE.
He did.
So that was, and Dennis Mitchell said Joel Deaton. So Jack Dillon, hello guys. Rip Oliver, or Rick Oliver when he worked for Georgia Championship Wrestling.
That's right.
Number 41. Michael is with us. Michael Rollerson.
Good deal.
I got that right. I'm not sure.
Just
How you doing, Michael?
going for a world record here, Michael. I'm mispronouncing your name.
Hey, can somebody get in touch with the Guinness Books of World Records and see if we can get that in there? I mean, that could. At least we'll have something that people will remember us for. Something. Hello, Pro Wrestling Tees has 20% off sale on Wednesday. Mine too. So get up there to Stuart Kemp's. So
starts about noon tomorrow and runs through tomorrow night. So
all right, get over there to Pro Wrestling Tees. And is it Pro Wrestling? Is it Stuart Kemp? Is it Stuart Kemp? Is that what you find on Pro Wrestling Tees?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And you get the Pro Wrestling Inside Now. Get your T-shirt. We are working on some, but we had a little problem with the resolution,
sizing.
Yeah, it didn't work too good for us, but we'll get that all worked out. Who is the fellow with the green fluorescent T-shirt? He's at every WWA pay-per-view in the front row. What is his story?
I'm not sure.
You know,
I think he's the one that they pull out of that box and stick in the front row.
You know, they did have that guy for years that followed him around to all the pay-per-views and all the TVs. He was from Texas. I can't remember his name, but I don't think he goes anymore.
Christopher Hughes. Dennis, I know you didn't ask me, but in my opinion, Joe Deaton was an awesome worker. And what's more, he was one of the nicest guys I ever met, and one of the toughest too, from Christopher Hughes. Victor Nash, Raw after Mania was supposed to have been a great show, even drew 2+ million viewers, but like Jake said, Vince is consistently another terrible Raw. I did hear it wasn't a great Raw. I didn't watch it.
Well, when you compare it to WrestleMania, it wasn't as up there, but it had its moments. I thought overall it was a good follow up to Raw. I mean to Mania.
I don't know that I have the ability to watch. I don't have cable, and I'm not for sure that's available anywhere else to watch. I'm not for sure. I have the Hulus and the Peacocks and the Netflixes, but I do not have actual cable. Joe,
it'll be on those, but it'll be delayed.
Richard Hood, Joe Deaton could go in the ring. He was very good. Mike Rotundo, however you want to say it. You know, he changed his name a little bit during the time. It was with an A for a long time, and then it was Rotundo. So I'm not for sure if it was Rotunda or Rotundo. Why did he change that, I wonder? Because didn't it used to be with an A?
It's probably because whatever announcer was announcing his name couldn't say it the right way. So he just changed the spelling.
This is probably true. Michael, see, if I was announcing you, your name would be wrong every time. So you just have to change it because I could never get it right.
You would be the amazing Michael R.
That's right. I wouldn't. It'd be like Steve O. Nobody could say Steve Osanowski, so they just called him Steve O. Let's see. Charles Bellflower. When Paul Jones promoted would announce on TV that championship wrestlers will prevail this Friday, I knew my father was not taking. Michael, good. Hope you guys are doing well. We are doing pretty good. Daniel Lang. Dino's first run at WWF was better than the last one. Dominic DiNucci had a great championship run with him. Christopher Hughes, Brian Blair, number 41. Let's see here. Nope. Brian Blair not on mine. It's not that Brian Blair wasn't a good wrestler. I thought he was.
So since he's doing, are we at number 41 now? What are we at?
Well, let's go ahead and
okay, get the rest. Go ahead.
Robert Fuller, number 40. Richard Hood, also number 39. Richard. Let's see.
Oh.
Oh. That was right.
He's allergic to Kevin Sullivan.
All right, I'll start this out. My list here. Let me turn this Kevin Sullivan. We have Roddy's throwing up over there. All right, let me go. Number 42, Ed Strangler Lewis, great professional wrestler. Number 41, Mexican sensation, El Santo, probably one of the biggest stars ever in Mexico wrestling history. I think even probably a bigger star than Mil Mascaras. Which, by the way, if I put him on my list, and I got really.
Are you upset about that, Brent? You seem to be bitter about it.
I still hold some type of resentment for that for some reason. Y'all really hurt my feelings. And can you see you hurt my feelings over that?
Seems like you're upset about that.
I'm upset about that. Number 40, Kurt Angle. Tremendous wrestler. He was a tremendous wrestler. Number 39, The Undertaker. Some people's going to be upset because The Undertaker ain't further up, but he was more. I feel like he was more of a gimmick than he was a wrestler, but he drew a lot of money. Number 38, Kurt Hennig. Number 37, Roddy Piper. Number 36, Shawn Michaels. Number 35, Bret Hart. Number 34, the Fabulous Moolah. Number 33, Larry Zbyszko. Number 32, Ivan Koloff. Number 31, Sergeant Slaughter. Now, some people are going to say that some of them people should have been hired, but you'll see why those people are not hiring when you see the other people that we'll be doing in the next 3 weeks. We'll eventually, in 3 weeks, we'll get to the top 10 wrestlers on our list. Was probably going to shake up a lot of people, make a lot of people mad, but
We're gonna have fireworks for that one.
all right, that's true. All
I'm
right,
prepared.
all right, Jack. Let's look at your 31 to 42.
My 42 is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. 41, Superstar Billy Graham. Number 40, Killer Kowalski. 39, David Von Erich. Number 38, Gino Hernandez. 37 is Eddie Gilbert. 36, Roddy Piper. 35 is Randy Savage. 34, Thunderbolt Patterson. 33 is one of the few modern day wrestlers that I included. And if we were doing a top 10 of modern day sports entertainers / pro wrestlers, he would be at least number 2, if not number 1, and that is Brock Lesnar. Number 32 is Junkyard Dog, and number 31 is Tojo Yamamoto.
All great wrestlers.
All
We've
right.
talked about most all these wrestlers. We've talked about at length. That's the reason we didn't really talk about it. We've talked about all these wrestlers pretty well in length, but all of them tremendous wrestlers. Rodney, your 31 to 42.
42. Okay. 42, Shawn Michaels, which I think we put in there, bro. 41, Vernie Gagne. Number 40, Gene Kiniski.
There you go.
39, Ron Fuller. 38, Wahoo McDaniel. 37, Arn Anderson. 36, Dick Slater. 35, Dennis Condrey. 34, Dutch Mantell. And we're gonna go down. 33, Ole Anderson. 32, Steve Austin. And 31, Barry Windham.
All tremendous wrestlers. There's not one of those wrestlers that don't deserve. Some of them they actually be in the top 10. There's so many great wrestlers.
Absolutely. Absolutely could.
All right, we'll go back and we'll see. Let's see, where did we end up at? Though I think we ended up with Kevin Sullivan, number 39. We're playing a little bit of golf now. Now number 39, Kevin Sullivan. Let's see, Mickey Mayfield. Number 42, Dino Bravo. 41, Bill White. Tremendous wrestler.
Yes.
And number 40, Ken Timms. Another great person. Don't let him do Wahoo McDaniel. He'll get fired. He'll never do that in town.
Cussed out and fired. Same time.
Yeah. There you go. For those of you who have not heard the story, we were in a town. It was a Fred Ward town. It was a Fred Ward town or something. Was it Griffin?
I believe it was Griffin.
Griffin, Georgia. And that would have been the other Smith. What's his first name?
Doug Smith.
Doug Smith's town. And during the match, Ken Timms was making his comeback. And when he did, he started doing the Wahoo McDaniel
War dance.
Or more like Chief J. Strongbow. And Dad actually walked to the ring and stood with his arms like this. Like, what in the world are you doing? And he, as he come back to the dressing room, Dad said, "No, I'm sorry, Ken, but I'm gonna have to fire you tonight." I said, "If I get back to Ole, I'll be fired." So, by the way, for you people who believe that wrestlers did what they wanted to do, no, they didn't. He got fired for that. Frank Monet, shooting birds, got fired for that. So you could not do whatever you wanted to do back in the territory days. Frank Dusek, number 42. He was a great wrestler. Danny Dusek also.
We got in the car. We didn't know exactly what was going on, so we got in the car. We asked, "What was Ken Timms doing?" And he said, "I don't want to talk about it." He finally told us he was doing the Wahoo McDaniel.
And he did the whole Wahoo deal. He stole his gimmick. And evidently Wendell Cooley wasn't wrestling yet. So Wendell Cooley must have took up on that because he liked to steal everybody's gimmick. He would do the Wrestling Twos knee lift. He would do the Scott Armstrong super kick. He'd do the sleeper hold, Bob Armstrong, the bullets finish. He'd do it as a high spot. He did all that stuff. So and everybody didn't like him as well. So that was Paul Owens couldn't pronounce Sivia, so he called him Jimmy Atta.
Yeah.
How did he even get that out of that? I mean, hey, at least I get close to what he's. Well, I thought I hit that. Rick Brooks, if I'm not mistaken, the Undertaker even mentioned Buzz in his acceptance speech. Did he?
Yeah, not in a good way.
You know, I have to give it when we talk about Buzz. We have a YouTube video. One of our YouTube videos on Buzz Sawyer, the making of the Mad Dog, which we go through and chronic his career from where he wrestled, matches that he might have had. You know, that is the top video that we have underneath a one on Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. That's incredible. And the Buzz Sawyer, Tommy Rich stuff also gets a lot of views. So it's just incredible, Buzz Sawyer, after these many years. Number 42, Toro Tanaka, Charles Bellflower. As long as he don't go to sleep at ringside while he's standing waiting for the tag, that's fine. But I wouldn't put him on there because he'd go to sleep too many times while waiting for the tag. You would think they decide don't put him in a tag match or don't put him in a headlock or something. He may fall asleep. That was just, I'll never forget. Dad said he had to slap him and wake him up so he could come in and do the ball was dropped. Who's that?
Fantasio
versus Undertaker. Their match never happened as a Coliseum home video exclusive. Now that the Taker is retired, that is a baffling
conundrum.
What? Who is this person?
Is it Phantasmo? I think is what it was. It was a very short-lived gimmick. He wrestled in Memphis. They tried bringing him WWE, and I don't think he lasted but a few weeks.
Okay, I was not. Did he?
I'd forgotten about him.
Did he wrestle as a spellbinder?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, he was the magician guy.
Yes.
Okay.
White face paint and yeah. Did the magic.
Looked like $1 million, but boy, he was a horrible wrestler.
Yeah. Invested every bit of his million into his body and none into his intelligence.
Number 41, Tommy Rich. He deserves that spot. No matter what you want to say about Tommy Rich, there were other wrestlers that did just as bad as maybe what Tommy did. Maybe he came in when he wasn't supposed to. But how many wrestlers did that and they stayed? Shawn Michaels stayed for many years, and nobody talks as bad about him as they did Tommy Rich. Tommy drew a lot of money from almost the time he started wrestling and until like 1990. So you're talking 1976, I think Tommy started wrestling, 1975, until about 1990. That's a great career to draw the money he drew. And no matter where he went, he drew ton of money. Even in the 1990s, he was drawing money. So I can't say nothing bad about Tommy. Bobo, well, we can say something about Bobo. Bobo Brazil, number 40. Yes, Charles Bellflower. 39, Ronnie Garvin. Number 38 from Charles, Ivan Koloff. Yeah. Number 37, Tim, Mr. Wrestling Woods. Yeah. 36, Paul Jones from Charles. Number 40 from Michael Dory Funk Jr., tremendous wrestler. Knew what he was doing. Charles Bellflower, number 32, the Spoiler. Charles, number 40. It's Christopher Hughes. Jack Briscoe. Number 40. Oh man, him and Jerry as a tag team. Man, they were so good. Let's see. Charles Bellflower, Greg Valentine, Sean Smith. Sean Smith. Is Greg Gagne on these lists?
No, and as a matter of fact, I don't know if y'all can see this. I have the worst wrestler list, and the only name on it so far is Greg Gagne.
You know, I kind of think about Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic. I think we need to call him a Dominic Goulas, maybe. He's a good wrestler. He just doesn't look like one.
I'm seriously thinking about starting a GoFundMe because the boy can obviously not afford a gym membership.
You know what he does looks good. He just doesn't look the part. I just phew. Ah, that's all I can say about that. Number 39, David Von Erich. Tommy Siegler. You know,
Tommy
he
Sligler.
was a tremendous wrestler.
Man,
Richard
he was
Hibbs, right.
great.
And
Yeah.
you know, he probably never gets the credit he deserves, but there's a match from all South
Also,
Wrestling. And the referee is our father, Ronnie West, and he is going against, I think, Dickie Steinborn.
yes.
Tremendous match on our YouTube channel. You have to go all the way back to the beginning, maybe 2019 when we started doing the YouTube page, and go and watch that match. It is tremendous match. They both knew what they were doing. Daniel Lang, Rodney, Minneapolis, Minnesota, called. They are sending a crew to your house to teach you how to pronounce Vern and Gagne.
We know it's Gagne. It's
Yes.
just fun. It's more fun to say Gagne.
Oh, you should have seen it. Was Jerry Stubbs. Jerry Stubbs was riding with us. And me and Britt had been calling him Vernie Gagne for a long time. So we just call him, Vernie Gagne. He said, Vernie Gagne, the guy that said up the AWA. You're talking about Vern Gagne? He just about rolled out of the car. I can't believe his voice.
We were riding with Steve-O to a town, and we were talking about champions. And I believe at the time Dusty Rhodes was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I'm pretty sure he was. And so we were saying, well, at least you're not the AWA World Heavyweight Champion. And man, Steve got mad. Legitimately got mad.
Yeah.
And we said, in the South, the AWA means nothing. If you're not the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, you're nothing. That's what we told him. Boy, he made a comeback on us. I think
He could have. I
Oh.
think he hit the dash.
Yeah, I think he got a little mad at
He
us.
slammed his head on that dash. What?
Hey, maybe that's really how he hurt his hand.
Could have been. I didn't think about that. You might be right.
He may just made that up. He may just got so mad that we said AWA was anybody can win that championship. 38, superstar Billy Graham. Yes. Is Bray Wyatt can do Barry Windham? Jack?
Barry is his uncle. And as a matter of fact, Bray Wyatt's real name is Wyndham Rotundo.
Here you go, David Bice. I think he's doing a movie right now, isn't he? He's somewhere.
He is. He was in Dallas doing one of those fan fest things over the weekend.
Pete Evich, maybe how you say it. Missing link in the Road Warriors versus Kamala Brody and Abdullah Cage in the Tokyo Dome with Jim Ross calling the hot spots would have been a barnyard burner. Yes, I agree with you. Michael said number 37, Ted DiBiase. Yes, Ted DiBiase, tremendous. Tim Horner and Scott McGee would have been a great thing. I agree. Tim Horner never got the boy. He was smooth in the ring. Man, Tim was
goodness, he was great
and could do it. I remember we were in Bluesdale, Mississippi, and somebody didn't show up, so Tim was going to get Scott Armstrong. And in that match, Tim basically turned a little heel on Scott. And then people were hot. People who had bought pictures of Tim Horner came and threw them back in my face and said they didn't want those photographs of Tim Horner. That's how good Tim Horner was. I mean, he had them people mad. And that's Lucedale, Mississippi. Now, we could go 30 miles down the road to Mobile, Alabama, and couldn't draw 300 people. But you go to Lucedale, Mississippi, and draw 1,500 in a school gym. So I don't know how that happened.
It was one of the biggest crowds for a little show that we've ever had. I mean, it was
awesome. A big gym
every time. Yeah, huge gym. Yeah.
Number 42, Bob Backlund. Number 41, Arn Anderson. Number 40, Barry Windham from Joel Bateman. By the way, hello, Joe. Thank you so much for being on here. Michael says number 36, Ivan Koloff. Sean Smith, we may not have had Undertaker or Buzz didn't beat Mark Callis out of his money.
True.
He was determined. This was what he was going to do. I think that just lit a fire under him to try even harder.
I wonder if he ever saw Buzz again after that.
I believe they were in WCW at the same time, and I believe they had words, and I believe Buzz walked off.
Yeah, I don't think I would have messed with.
Yeah.
with number 35. That's Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson. Number 40. No, number 39. Wahoo McDaniel.
Yeah, we were very close to him at 38. Yeah.
And while we're speaking of Wahoo, real briefly, his youngest son passed away just a few
I
days.
saw
ago.
that.
Oh no.
I saw that. How old was
Terrible. 30 years old.
Wow.
From my understanding, he had been born with a heart condition, and they didn't think he would make it past 10 years old. But he lived till he
Wow.
was 30.
Wow. That's sad. Richard Hood. Number 37, Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. Pete, Ranger Ross, and Corporal Kirchhoff. Corporal Kirchhoff.
Kirchner.
Thank y'all. Could have formed a faction with Sergeant Slaughter. Yes, they could have. He could have been much better than, what was that guy's name we always, when we talk about Mid-South Wrestling, Private Terry Daniels.
Privacy
Yeah.
Terry Daniels, yes. I never call him Privacy Terry Daniels.
He never learned, I'm going to tell you.
That's once we get the closed channel thing going, I'll tell you what I call Terry Daniels.
Jack, that crew is stopping by your house too.
Don't bring cigars. No, wait a minute. That's from Minnesota. They don't have
Hey,
cigars.
there's going to be some more, Daniel. You're going to have to send them too.
Tell them to bring snow. I know they got plenty of that still.
Just wake it up.
Michael said 34. Dick Murdoch.
Dick
tremendous.
Murdoch. Yes.
Put Dominic on the gas.
Put him on something.
Man.
Let that boy eat. That's what they need.
33, Paul Jones from Michael. Joe Bateman. 39, Eddie Gilbert. Tremendous wrestler. By the missing link, 38. 37, he puts Hulk Hogan, number 37. Number 32, Ray Stevens, tremendous wrestler. Probably one of the, probably during his heyday, probably one of the best wrestlers that was there. I mean, he was so good.
Well, Ric Flair, considered by many as one of the top wrestlers in history, if not the top, said Ray Stevens was far better than he ever thought about being.
Yeah.
So that's some pretty high praise.
Yeah, he was so good. So smooth. Even as he got older, he was still smooth in the ring. Didn't get over too well in Georgia, but he had great matches. He just didn't get over. When I think of the worst, most boring wrestler ever, my mind keeps coming up with the name Goulas. I pronounced it Gagney reading the magazine. I never knew the difference until I started watching AWA, because we didn't watch AWA. We only see them in the magazines. So.
Well, till they got that deal on ESPN, I didn't know how to pronounce it either.
Question to Jack. Give the insider and experience the wrestling pro Leon Baxter.
It was a great experience. I was there as an enhancement talent for a TV show they were trying to get going. Dickie Steinborn was the booker, and they were filming in Montgomery. He's a great guy. Gave me a little bit, made me feel good when it was over, and just a good experience with Leon.
Mick Foley, number 36, Richard Hood. Number 31, the original Sheik for Michael. Michael Barr has joined us. Michael, how you doing? I think they're having storms.
Yeah, bad weather. One death from the tornadoes in that down southern Alabama area.
Yeah, he was telling me about that. He got with me about 12 o'clock, but I'm training someone, so I did not get with him until about 6 because I did not have a time today. So number 42, Randy Savage. Number 41, Ron Fuller. Number 40, Dutch Mantell. Number 30. Yeah, 30. Did I say 30?
39.
39, Mr. Wrestling. 38, Kamala. Number 37, Ivan Koloff. Number 36, Black Bart. Number 35, Jimmy Valiant. Number 34, Jack Briscoe. Number 33, Kevin Von Erich. 32, Black Jack Lanza. And 31, Cowboy Bob Orton. All greats.
Yes.
All greats. let's see. Condolences to and prayers to the family of Wahoo. Yes, that was sad. It was sad to
Which,
see.
by the way, his wife has written a new book on Wahoo, and that's available on Amazon Prime right now.
What do you know? What the name of the book is?
Let me look it up.
We're going to talking about books. Soon we'll be talking about the Gary Hart book. We actually all got some information on the Gary Hart book thanks to a fan, and we're going to talk about that. Very interesting stories, if you've not known, with Gary Hart. It's very interesting.
Okay, it's on Amazon Prime, and it's simply called Wahoo, and it's 1995 there. So, and that's by his wife.
Okay, so let's maybe we could get that and talk a little bit about it. So, and we can get people to get over there and buy one of those books. Vince McMahon will rank high after the stunner he took this.
World's worst boy wrestlers.
Hey, he makes George Goulas look like
Yes, true.
so
George could sell.
he could sell. Not much on the comeback, but he could sell. So
He'd get a good judo chop.
yeah, I mean George
His
was
judo chops is better than Vince's kicks. I'll tell you that.
I don't care what people say. George Goulas wasn't the worst wrestler I've ever seen.
No,
I've seen worse. So I cannot get him.
I don't care how good, much better George could have been. Being the son of the promoter is always going to get people not liking you.
Yes, exactly. Now he probably might not have said Daddy told me to say that. Maybe they probably kept.
Yeah.
Might have been could have helped him any. Jack, that crew could bring you a Tampa Nuggets.
Mickey Mayfield, do not curse at me.
Joel Bateman, number 36, Wahoo McDaniel. Daniel
Yeah.
A. Wait a minute. Daniel. Evidently, my hands have quit working. Were you guys in Mid-South when Terry Daniels
Yes.
wears military uniform? Yes.
Yes, we were there. And then the Sergeant Slaughter came in against the Dirty White Boys, wasn't it?
Just a tidbit: when Terry Daniels is sitting in the dressing room and all his Marine stuff on, don't offer him a crayon to eat for a snack because he doesn't take that very well.
Number 34, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, and Michael Barr. Hello, Jack. Brent Rodney having some weather issues here. Back in action, and I have a draw sock as well. I've heard he's got some. He had some teeth issues. Oh, I bet that
Bless your heart.
hurts. All right, guys. Anything we needed to talk about before we leave today?
Yes, if I may.
Go ahead.
You may.
When you're a competitor of, say, a certain organization, you should not take time out of your own publicity to promote that show.
No.
Thusly, AEW wanted to talk about WrestleMania, and you why not just quit and go work for them?
How about the Masked Superstar? He's been on all our list.
Yes, he has.
I don't believe the Masked Superstar was doing on mine yet, but there may be a reason for that. So,
yep, he's still to come.
So, I thought he was one of the greats.
Which he was doing an appearance at Dallas this weekend, and a buddy of mine went over and said, "Hey, Jack Lord said to tell you hi," and Bill responded, "Yeah, tell him I'm gonna whoop his butt." He did not say butt, but you guys.
Going in and out the bed, and probably Storms is not helping us at all. So he said, "We wish AEW best of luck in their future endeavors."
I don't think they're going anywhere, but in 3 years, they've kind of plateaued to this point. You know, they hit the million, but they can't sustain a million, and you know they're not going anywhere as long as they can generate money from advertising. They're selling out their arenas, which is good. I don't want them to go anywhere. Because when a company folds, that means wrestlers are not getting paid. And I like to see wrestlers get paid, with all as many opportunities as possible. If they would just quit worrying about what Vince does.
Yes.
Just do your stuff, because your stuff is pretty good. It's just not WWE. So quit trying to be them.
And Tony, get you a booker. Quit booking it yourself. Step out, take care of the business, and get you a booker.
Now it's about a second
Why
company
is
that's gonna
it
book that.
every time I see something about AEW, I see his stupid face on it? He's not in the ring. Nobody pays to see this moron. Get yourself off the TV and out of the freaking, off the publicity. Nobody pays to see you.
It was well worth getting Rodney all upset right there.
Well, I mean, seriously, every picture I saw was the AEW talking about the WWE all week, and then you had that idiot Tony Khan's picture every time you see it. And he's standing there with that stupid grin on his face with a microphone with AEW on it. Nobody pays to see you. Nobody.
And he does act really bad when he's out there. Like a fish out of water.
Christopher Hughes has some stuff here, I think.
He says, I'm out of work for 4 to 6 weeks with a broken foot, so I'm looking forward to joining you guys for a while and catching up on the videos I missed, like the making of the Mad Dog. And we're going to be going back and on our Facebook page, we're going to be going back and letting people know a little bit about what's going on there. So Tony is the best booker, Mark. And
here we go. We got him. Hold on. He was going to say, wait. If it wasn't for Tony, I didn't think.
That you're true. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not. You can't dispute that.
Christopher said he loves when Rodney gets upset. We do too. And a lot of times we just try to. We have what's a pinned message mean?
What?
I've never seen that before. Ever come up before?
Yeah, all that too. I don't know.
You ever got? Wait a minute. What was that about?
I don't know. Hey, Victor, how did you do that? How did you do a pinned message? I just like to know how you did it. I'm not for sure how you would do that.
Well, wait a minute. There was another comment about Larry Zbyszko. Do we know Larry Zbyszko's father-in-law's name? Oh, did you ever tell Larry Zbyszko how to pronounce his father-in-law's name? I don't know. I don't even know who his father-in-law is. I'm sorry.
Vern.
Vernie Gagne. Yes, we would have called him Vernie Gagne. We'd have said, hey, call him Vernie Gagne.
And the thing about it, Larry Zbyszko was such a great guy.
He would have.
He would have probably said, well, it's better than what I called them after.
Hey, Vern, you know what they're saying down here?
He might have been another one we made mad. Maybe not.
No, Larry was a great person. I never seen Larry not be a. He said he didn't know how he did that. Victor said he didn't know how he did that, but it got a pin with a star on it.
He's got a star, yeah. Maybe it's the amount of. Well, no, it says pin message. I don't know how I did it.
Maybe you are the number one follower.
He could be. He's the number one. Maybe the number one comments.
Good deal. At least we know what that is. And he's still pinned. His still is doing that. So that's good, Victor. All right, folks. Next week we will go through 21 through 30. We will go through that, and we will. What is it? Hey,
we got a very special guest that's joined us.
There you go. But we'll see everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of Pro Wrestling Inside Now. We certainly do appreciate it. If you've not went over to our YouTube channel, get over there, subscribe to it, watch all the videos. We do videos and we kind of chronic a guy's career, and it'll tell what matches they had and where they went. They like the Freebirds we talk about starting for Mississippi. For the Gulkins, and then we move on to Nick Goulas, then Jerry Jarrett. We talk about some of the matches they have. We just kind of try to talk about their careers a little bit. And you go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. Watch the videos on it. It don't cost you a dime. And the good thing about it, you can just turn it on and listen to it while you're working, or while you're supposed to be working. Just watch us. I don't bother me. I'm not the one paying you. So, Jack, anything? Before we
I think that's it. If y'all are in the South, y'all be safe tomorrow. We're supposed to have some pretty bad weather coming through, so just stay safe.
Rodney?
That's all we got.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll see everyone right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now next week. Thank you.